Can you see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Somebody should pray for us. Someone should pray for us.
In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Father, Lord, we thank you, Lord, for today. Thank you, Lord, for bringing us into this class. Lord, we pray whatsoever the teacher is teaching, you grant us retentive memory, you grant us wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. In Jesus' name I pray.
Amen. Thank you. So today we are going to be discussing informal letter. Informal letter, I'm sure you are used to it already. So it's just like a revision class. So our topic for today is what? Informal letter. We'll be looking at what is expected of us if we want to write a good informal letter. All right, now our introduction. We say informal letter. These are the letters we write to our friends, relations, and parents. It is called an informal letter because the language is friendly. It should be chatty in nature. So now, if we are discussing about informal letter, it's informal. So they are just letters you write to people that you have a personal relationship with. Simple. People you have personal relationship with. People that you know personally. So that person can be your friend, your neighbor that you have a good rapport with. That person can be your parents, your dad or your mom. That person can be your uncle, can be your aunt, can be your cousin, can be your classmate, just somebody you have a relationship with. You cannot write a letter, an informal letter to a stranger, a person that you don't know at all. It's not possible. So informal letters are letters, simple letters that we write to who? We write them to people that we have a relationship with. I know that you understand that perfectly. Now, we say it is called informal letter because the language is friendly. Friendly, you don't need to start using formal words, formal language. Your language doesn't have to be so intense. It's just simple language, friendly language is what is required. And we say it should be chatty in nature. Just assume that you are having a conversation on paper. That's an informal letter. Imagine that Prince, imagine you are talking to your friend, maybe your best friend in school. The way people gist, but not with pidgin, because you people gist with pidgin. But just imagine that you are just having a conversation. You are just having a chat, or what you call gist. You are just having a gist with your friend. That is what informal letter is. If you see it that way, it will be very easy for you to write. So it should be chatty in nature. Just assume you're having a conversation with your mom. So most of us, when you're writing informal letter, you use firstly, secondly. Is wrong because when you're chatting with your friend, you don't use, you say furthermore, first and foremost. You don't use those kind of words when you're chatting with your friend. So informal letter just require friendly language. And you can use contracted form or short forms of auxiliary verbs. Like instead of using cannot, you will use can't. Instead of using would not, you use wouldn't. Instead of using I am, you can use am. I with apostrophe M. All right, that being said, all right. So now let's move to what we are going to look at. What is going to help us? The format for for an informal letter. If you know this format, even you're in JSS3, right? This is just the format that you need, even when you enter SS1, even when you get to SS2, even when you get what? SS3. If you get it right now, that is all. We don't change the format. The only thing is you write more. When you get to senior class, you write more. You'll be required to write more words. For example, SS3 now, you'll be required, or from SS2, you're required to write 450 words. But from JSS3, I think just 250 words is required. Good. Now we are going to, the format we have first, our address and date. The first thing that comes to your mind when you want to write a letter, either formal or informal, is what? Address and what? Date. That's the first thing that you do. So now for our informal letter, the first thing that we consider is our address. After our address, it's followed by our what? Our salutation. After the salutation, we have the body. We have the body. After the body, we now have our complementary what? Close. After the body, we have our complementary close. So now let's go to the address. We are dealing with the address first. All right. We say the address. The address is written at the top right-hand corner of the paper. It is written at the top right-hand corner of the paper. This is followed by the date. So there are two forms of addresses. We have what we call the block and indented or slanting. The block form is easier to handle and you should use a simple address. Now, what comes first is our what? Is our address. Where do we write our address? Our address is written at the what? At the top right hand of our paper. Our address is written at the top hand side of our what? Of our paper. So now, and it's followed by what? It's followed by the date. We have two types of address, but we will focus on just the block address because the block address is easier than the slanting, or what we call indented. So forget about the slanting. Block, all your words will be written on the same word, on the same line. Do not write your address in capital letter. You can only capitalize the nouns, the main words. At the beginning of each word, you capitalize it, but don't capitalize all. And write them in block. I will show you an example of block. I'll show you an example of block. So let's go to the next slide so that you can see the example here. Now, this is a simple address. Always stick to your school address. Your school address should be like the simplest. Don't complicate things by trying to formulate one imaginary word address. So just learn your school address and stick to it. So we have Faith Academy, followed by a comma. Maraban, you see Faith starts with capital letter F, Academy, capital letter A, Maraban, capital letter M, Rido, capital letter R, Kachia, capital letter R, Road, capital letter, Kachia, capital letter K, Road, capital letter R, Kaduna, capital letter K. But don't capitalize everything. Good. And we have
after the Kaduna.
Yes, we are getting there. So now we now have a space. We now have a space. Then you write your date. Now it is address and date. That means date is separate from the address. The reason why we leave a space is to show that the date is not together with what? The address. Date is on its own. Address is on its own. So when you finish writing your address, you space and write. Well, so some people don't space, but it's good to just do the correct thing, even if you not be penalized for it. So you space and write your date. Do we get it? You space, yes, and write your date. Always write your date, or we'll get there, but always write your date in full. Always write your date in full. So let's look at this. Let's take note of this. I've explained it, but let's just take note of it. So we say for examination purpose, it will be okay, it will be sufficient if you just write your school address instead of trying to write some non-existent address that will get you into trouble. Just write your school address, learn your school address and just stick to it. Now, when the letter is written to someone outside the state in which the writer resides should come under the city. And it is written to, and if it is written to someone overseas, the country should come afterwards, after the state. Now, you might not need this, but no knowledge is what? Is a waste. Yeah, I feel that you are mature enough to understand it. Huh? You can stick to that first address that I showed you. Now, if you're writing to someone in another state, if you're writing to someone in another state, for example, now you're writing to your friend in let's say Katsina, they just indicate the state you're writing from. Do you understand? So after Marabarido, Kaduna, you have comma, you cannot write Kaduna State. It just shows where you are writing from. If you are writing to somebody overseas.
Ma.
Yes.
Ma, please, if you have to write Kaduna State, you also leave space, ma.
No, you're not leaving space. You're not leaving space. Let me show you. Look at it now. Look at it on the screen. I have an example here. Look at it on the screen. You've seen it, right? So we have Faith Academy, Marabanrido, Kachia Road. You know, we have different ways of writing our school address. Some people you remove Kachia from it and just put Marabanrido, Kaduna. It's okay. Then look at it now. On a normal day, probably you're writing to another person in Kaduna State. You can just put Kachia Road, Kaduna. That's where we stopped in the other in the last address. You put what? Full stop. But now, if you are writing to another person outside your state, you want the person to know where you are writing from. So you just put Kaduna State. You see the addition. So that Kaduna will not take a full stop. It will take a comma because your address is not complete. Then Kaduna State, full stop. That's all.
Ma. Ma, please,
yes, I'm listening.
It's not in Nigeria. I was right now.
Look at it now. If the person now is not in Nigeria, you will now add that Nigeria to it. Do you understand?
Yes,
let's go over it again. If you are writing to somebody in your state, in the same state, you stop at that Kaduna where there is comma on this particular address. Just put full stop there. Then you space, then you put your date. If you are writing to somebody outside Kaduna State, you add Kaduna will go with a comma. That's the town. Then your state, Kaduna State, full stop, without Nigeria. You don't have to complicate the address. If you are not writing to somebody in UK or US or Canada, you will now add what? Nigeria, what? And what? Full stop to show the country you are writing from. So do we understand that?
Yes.
Very good. When you are writing your date, write it in full. Don't write 08/06/ no. See the way I wrote my own. And this 8, this your TH, because we typed it on computer. That's why you are seeing it up. If you are writing it, all of them will be on the same level. The TH will be on the same level with your 8. Do you understand? You start learning it now. Because when you get to SS3, they will penalize you. They might not penalize you in JSS3, but when you get to senior class, they will penalize you. So when you're writing your TH, let it be on the same level with your 8. So that being said, we are moving to the next slide. All right. Now, I've already explained this one. When writing dates, the month must always be written in full. The date is not part of the address. Don't forget to punctuate your address. Comma, comma, comma. When it comes to the last part, if it is Kaduna, full stop. If there's Kaduna State, full stop. If it is Nigeria, full stop. All right. Now we are going to the salutation. Now what comes after our address? Our address comes first. We have explained our address. Now, what comes after it is our what? Our salutation. Our salutation will always start with dear, the name of the person you are writing to. Now, remember that an informal letter is a friendly letter, so you are not using sir or ma. Even if you call your dad sir, a sign of respect. Yes, sir. Yes, ma. At home. But when you are writing, you are not using sir. We only use sir and madam for what? For formal letter. So if you are writing, if it's your friend's name, dear Jennifer, dear Joy, dear Blessing, dear Maureen, dear Comfort. Do you understand? Now,
Yes, ma'am.
if you're writing to your dad or your mom, it depends on what you call your dad. If it is father, you can say dear father, dear papa, dear popsy, dear baba, dear mama, dear momsy, dear mom, dear mother. Don't start with sweet mother. Just dear mother. It's simple.
Baba.
Dear baba. Yeah, some people call their father baba now. There's nothing wrong with it. So we stick to that. Dear and the name of the person you are referring to. If it is your uncle, you can say dear Uncle Tunde. Do you understand now? You can add uncle to it. Dear Uncle Tunde. Dear aunt or auntie Bimbo. Depends on the person's name. That is all for our salutation. Now we are now going to the body of the letter proper. Now I discovered that JSS3, some people are good at writing. Some will just write as if they are playing. They'll say write a letter. You just write one paragraph, and then you are done. You are not going to earn enough mark you doing that. Do you understand? Now I would say you should. At least you can write, you know what paragraph is, right? Some of you don't even know what paragraph is.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, but some people will write, they will just start writing from the beginning. How are you to the last, full stop. No paragraph at all. Now, we'll do this.
Yes,
We'll have, let me say, maybe I should say 4 paragraphs, or let me just stick to 5 paragraphs. Even when you get to senior class, you will still write, the minimum is 5 paragraphs. But if you can write 5 paragraphs, fine. But if you cannot, you are going to divide at least your letter into 4 paragraphs. Or let's just stick to 5 paragraphs. That 5 paragraphs, you might not write much, but 5 paragraphs. So now we are starting with what we call the first one. Now, the body of your letter is whatever you are writing, isn't it? So the first paragraph is our introduction. Introduction. Let's go to introduction. So we say, let's read this one first. We say the body of the letter is divided into paragraphs. If I'm too fast, let me know. Depending on the number of points to be discussed. The first paragraph is used as the introduction, while the last paragraph is used as the conclusion. Now, if you want to write a letter, you must have a point, isn't it? Point you want to discuss. So I will teach you how to get your points. But let's go to our introductory paragraph. So, introduction, the introduction, that's the first paragraph.
Ma, please go back.
To where? What? The line was breaking. You don't understand? Tell me the one you don't understand so that I will know where to start from. Yes, I'm listening to you, Blessing.
Ma is just note.
Huh?
It's just the note.
Oh, the note. The note. The note is not as important as listening. I always tell you, it's not as important as listening. Most of you will not even go back to the notes. Yeah? Just listen to what I am saying and understand it. You know, in English language, they don't ask you to define. They will not say, how many, they ask you, how many paragraphs do you write? They will not ask you that now. you practicalize it by writing. So you listen to what I'm saying. That's all. When you listen, is okay. Now, the content of the opening paragraph depends on the writer. The letter must be opened with expression of appreciation for something done, or it may be just something. Who is making that noise now? Please, can we just stop the noise? Can we mute our this thing? Maybe if you are busy, somebody is busy close to you, you can just mute your audio so that the distraction will stop. Now, listen now. I've said at least you can have 5 paragraphs, isn't it? Now, if you are faced with a question, for example, write a letter to your father asking him for permission to spend the holiday with your best friend. Or write a letter to your father asking for permission and giving him reasons why you want to spend the holiday with your best friend. What you will do first is to think. There's what we call brainstorming. At least you take like, let's say, 2 minutes to think of what you want to write about. When it comes to writing, you have to be what? Creative. Are you listening? You have to be creative. Don't say, I don't have the letter to your sister that is getting married. I don't have any sister getting married though. Nobody cares. I don't have any brother living abroad. Just be creative. Do you understand? So you think about the points you want to discuss. Your introductory paragraph, as we said, what will you say in introductory paragraph? You can either appreciate somebody. You know, you are being creative. So you are just creating a writing. So you'll be creative. Either appreciate for something done, or you can just greet that person. So your introductory paragraph is greeting. You can say, I'm happy to write this letter to you. I would like to appreciate the gift you sent to me last month during my birthday. It was wonderful. I was so excited when I saw it. You can say, I received your letter last month and I was so happy that you remembered to write to me. You can say, thank you for sending me this and this. You can appreciate that person. Or you can just say, the way you put your normal way of writing your letters. It is my pleasure to write this letter to you. How are you and the family? Or depending on who you are writing to. So you can start. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. So you can either start by just greeting, by saying, how are you? I hope you are fine. If so, the way people say, if so, glory be to God, or something like that. Good. Or you can just say, I was excited when I saw whatever you sent to me, or I was happy to receive your letter, or thank you for for sending me provision last week. Then you can now proceed to say, how are you? How is my siblings? I hope you are doing well. It depends on anyhow you want to start your introductory paragraph. You can start. So you can start by greeting. You can start by appreciating, then greeting. Anyhow you want to start it. It's informal. Just make it chatty. Make it friendly. The way you will see your mom and say, mom, you can even say, I miss you, mom. You can the way you will talk to your mom when you see your mom, you can write it down. Just use a proper English to write it down. The way you talk to your friend, you can even use alpha, but you put it in a quotation mark because it is not is a slang. Do you understand? But not pidgin, I'm not using pidgin to write. So you can say how far, or what's up, guy, but put it in a quotation mark to show that it is a slang. Now, after your introductory paragraph, you will now go to the main body of your letter. That is where you will start writing. You answer the question. You give points, your points to answer the question asked. For example, you're asked to write to your dad to take permission to spend what? To spend the holiday, to give him reasons why you want to spend the holiday with your what? With your friend. So paragraph 2, you start discussing your points. Maybe your point is 1, you have assignments, you have group assignments. So you put that one in a writing. You say, Dad, I would like to spend some time with Samuel, because we are giving what? Holiday assignment, a group holiday assignment, and we are paired together, and I feel that if I stay with him, I'll be able to to complete the assignment on time, and he'll be able to put me through some things. Do you understand? You can also give another reason. You can say, Samuel's mom has been inviting you to come over, since he's your best friend, to spend some time with them. You feel that you would like to go there. You can just think about the point. Just think about it. You have to imagine it in your head. Then you put it down. At least have 3 points. Then you put them in separate paragraphs. Separate paragraphs. Don't join all your points together. Paragraph by paragraph. Your second paragraph will be your first point. Your third paragraph will be your second point. If you have another point, it will be in your In your fourth paragraph. No matter how short your paragraph is, but just make your work neat. Your examiner, the person marking your junior NEPO, will know that you know what you are doing. But if you write everything together, you will write as if you are in primary school. So make sure that you write your essay. Any essay you are writing, even if it's argumentative essay, if it is descriptive, if it is a formal letter, make sure that all your points are in different paragraphs. Now, the concluding paragraph, what do we do in the concluding paragraph? Now, your concluding paragraph, this is the last paragraph, and it shows that you have ended your letter. Now, letters are usually concluded, that's informal letter, are usually concluded with extended greetings to people known to both the writer and the receiver. Don't say, okay, you are concluding, right? Okay, you say, oh, okay. You can say, Dad, I'll be so glad if you allow me to spend some time with Samuel. That's your concluding. You will now say, extend my greetings to, or send my love to Mom. Don't say send my love to Auntie Joy. Auntie Joy now.
Yes.
Auntie Joy is known to you, but it's not known to your dad. Isn't it good? So don't say send my love to Auntie Joy. Send my love to Mom. Don't say send my love to everybody. Who is everybody? Send my love to everyone at home. Who is everyone at home? So you can mention names. You can say send my love to Mom. Send my love to Tina. Send my love to James. Send my love to. You can mention the names of your siblings, or if you have an aunt staying with you, or your uncle, or wherever you want to extend your greetings to. But the person you are extending regards to must be known to both the writer and the receiver. That is how we end our informal letter. That is how we end our informal letter. Now, then after that, we have what we call complementary close. Complementary close. Now, forget about the long story on the screen. Now, in informal letter, the common closing remark, we have other remarks, but the common one that we want to stick to is yours sincerely. Don't end your informal letter with your sweetest boy ever.
Yes.
Yours most handsome son.
Yes.
Your dearest, beloved. Don't do that. It's simple. Just if you cannot spell sincerely, learn how to spell sincerely. So yours sincerely. Now, if you look at my yours sincerely on the screen, the only letter with capital letter is the Y, the beginning. The remaining will come with what? With small letter. Yours sincerely, your Y will carry a capital letter. Other will come with a small A small letter. Followed by a comma. After that comma, you go to the next line. And your, what do we call it? Your complementary close comes at the end, at the bottom of your right hand, of the right hand side of your paper. At the bottom, your address will come at the top. So your complimentary close at the bottom of the right hand side of your paper. Good. So you end with yours sincerely. Your Y is the only one that carries a capital letter, others small letter, followed by a comma. Then your name, your first name. Your first name is the name your parent gave you. For example, Jerry is your first name, not Ayodele. Ayodele is your son name. So don't write Ayodele Jerry. Just write Jerry and put full stop. There's no signature in informal letter. Don't sign. Don't get carried away. Don't sign. It's a friendly letter. And write only your first name. If your first name is Coco, write Coco. Don't put Kose.
Yes.
If your son name is Kose, don't put Kose. Yes, just write Coco, full stop. And then you have come to the end of your words, of your beautiful words, your beautiful letter. So I will go over it again for like 2 minutes. For those, because of, I don't know, maybe network issue, some did not join us on time. So I'll just, for their benefit, I'll just summarize everything. Just follow me. I'll summarize everything. Just let's go gently, no noise. All right. Now, so we discussed, or we just finished discussing what informal letter. And I said, let me put the assignment on the screen so that you're not telling me, Auntie. Okay, let me give you an example. Look at my example of my own, yours sincerely. You can see it's right. Yours sincerely, comma, then what? A full stop. Good. Now this is the assignment that you have. You write a letter to your friend in another school, telling he or she why you love your school. I know you love your school so much that you have missed your school so much. You are not permitted to talk. You are not permitted to say anything. So that is the assignment. So now let's go back to our summary. So we said informal letter are what? Are friendly letters. Letters that we write to people that we have a personal relationship with. It's simple. People that you know, people that you have a personal relationship with. What's this? Stop laughing. Those people can be your neighbor that you are friendly with, that is your friend, can be your classmate, can be your dad, your mom, uncle, cousins, etc. Let's just say family members generally. Yes?
Ma'am, please go back to complementary close.
Okay. Well, let me finish my summary now.
Ma'am, start from the first slide.
Okay, let me go back to the first slide, then I'll be summarizing it. Okay, we have discussed this one now. We have discussed what is it called? Informal letter. What is informal letter about? We have said it. So I'm going to the next slide. Format of an informal letter. We have to have our address and our date, our salutation, body, and complimentary close. Now we say our address. We'll stick with block address. Pick a simple address. Your school address is simple enough. Don't write all your address in capital letter. And your address should be written at the right-hand side of your paper. Simple as ABCD. Simple. Informal letter is one of the simplest essay you can write. Simple. Good. Your date, you leave a line, then you write your date. Let me give you a sample. This is a sample. This is a sample. Now, this address, when you are writing to somebody in the same state, the person you are writing to Prince. Prince is in Kaduna. Jerry is in Kaduna. Jerry is writing to Prince. You write your address this way. Good. When you are arresting somebody outside your state, this is what you are going to do. Let's go. This is what you are going to do. If you arrest somebody outside your state, you are sticking with this. You are sticking with this. Some people are just joining our class. It's like we're still going to have a revision of this class. Don't worry. So this is what you stick with when you're writing outside to somebody outside your state. You add your Kaduna state. If you are writing to somebody outside Nigeria, you now add your country, Nigeria. Full stop. We are doing revision, so if we are done with the class, I'm just going over the lesson for today. So now we'll now go to our salutation. Our salutation starts with what? Dear, with the person's name. Dear Christabel, dear Father. Just write that person's name. Moses, what is making you laugh? Huh?
No, nothing.
Nothing. Oh, is your chat, Abby?
Liar.
Moses. What did she talk, Seth? Elijah, David. You know I can read all your chat. You don't know I can read all your chat? Huh? You are swearing in my class. I swear, guys.
Leave them and proceed.
Next time I'm going to remove
leave them and continue with the teaching.
I'm going to remove you from my class. Moses, you and Elijah, if you are not careful, I will remove you from my class. So you're not in JS1, so you behave yourself. If you want to learn, I have zero tolerance for indiscipline. Now, so you go with your what? Your dear Christabel, dear Father, whoever's name you want to what? Whoever person you're writing to, just add that person's name to it. Don't use dear sir. I say don't use dear sir. It's not a formal letter. Even if it's you want to show sign of respect to your father, don't use dear sir, don't use dear ma or dear madam. That's our salutation. Then we'll go to the body of the letter. The body of the letter is supposed to write them in paragraphs. This is where you express your point in what? In different paragraphs. Paragraph 1, introductory paragraph. So you can start your introductory paragraph by appreciating someone for sending you something or for doing something for you. Then you greet them, or you can just greet them straightforward. How are you? How is work? I learned to travel last week to Abuja. How was your journey? You can make sure that if you're asking questions, you're putting question mark in all those your questions. Then you go to the main body, the points. Now, any point, just brainstorm. When you see your questions, think of what you want to write about. You should have like 3 points minimum. Then those 3 points, you now develop them in different paragraphs. The reason I am writing this letter to you is to what? Is to tell you why I love my school so much.
Yes, ma'am.
Then you start with the points. Maybe you like your food, your school so much because the food is delicious. They have the best food. You talk about the food.
Jesus.
I don't want any comment. So if you like your school because of the teachers, you can. I'm already even giving you answers. But don't use my point. So you write every paragraph now. You don't join everything together. Don't say, I like my school because my school is in one paragraph. My school is this, my school is that, my school is that, full stop.
Oh, I will here.
Yeah?
It's rich.
You want me to list the points for you? So then your concluding paragraph, that's where you've come to an end, or you've ended your letter. Your letter has come to an end. So you can conclude your what? Your paragraph by extending your, just summarize it. Yeah? You can say, I can't wait to see you next time so that we can have what? Our girls' night together, or so that we can what? Go to the cinema. Maybe you're talking to your friend though, to watch a
Boys'
movie.
night.
Then you can now say, extend my greetings to, if you are extending your greetings, if it's your friend you are talking to, for example, your friend is Moses now, don't say extend my greetings to, and you now call your friends that you have at home that he doesn't know. So whoever you are extending greetings to should be known to you and the person reading your letter or the receiver of your letter. Then our complimentary close, we end with what? Yours sincerely. Yours sincerely, followed by a comma. And I said yours sincerely. It's only your Y that will start with a capital letter. The rest letters will be what? Small letter. Even your sincerely will be small letter. So only your Y is capital letter, the rest small letter, followed by a comma, then your what? Your first name. If your first name is Usa, you put Usa. Don't put Usa and don't add any other name to it. Your first name, that's all. And we have come to the end of today's class. I hope that you learned something. And the way to know if you have
Please
learned,
go back to complimentary close.
this one or this one?
This one.
Okay. So the way to know whether you have learned something is for you to what? To practicalize it, practice it, practice writing. It is not by magic.
250 words.
Huh? If you can. Good. Yes, 250 words is what is required of you in your external exam. So you should start by doing that now. See, if you can stick to the 5 paragraphs, you even have more than 250 words. So you should have like 3 points you want to talk about in your essay. Every of your essays.
Please go back to the next. Please go to the next one after this.
Yes,
please.
sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. So this is the assignment before we end it. So we have come to the end of the class. I hope you enjoyed the class. Somebody should pray for us.
Hallelujah.
Yes?
Elijah was playing game.
Jerry.
Which mail are you sending it?
Okay, that's.
Which mail are you sending?
Still send it to your auntie's mail. You have her email address, right?
Yes,
Yes, send it to her. Yes. Send it to her.
Why did not ask?
Send it to her. Subsequently, I will give you my email address. You send your assignments to my email.